Panama, the slender isthmus of two oceans, turns gently to reveal a world of life in constant motion. Processions of rain march like celestial caravans, setting a rhythm for the forester. High above, a harpy eagle glides through a labyrinth of leaves, its stereoscopic eyes carving a path through the shadows like a final judgment. Beneath the canopy, a jaguar places its velvet paws upon the wet earth, so silent that the water's surface dares only to ripple with its breath. Where the water is calm, a great blue heron stands like a statue, while jaguars quietly stride through the water. Offshore, dolphins map their world with echoes, and sea turtles return to their ancestral sands, as if keeping a secret oath with the Earth's magnetic field. Here, strength and fragility are woven together. A single gust of wind can erase a nest, yet a seedling still pushes tenaciously towards the light. If we listen closely, Panama does not roar, it whispers, and in that whisper, our story begins with a single ray of light piercing the veil of leaves. This is wild Panama, an isthmus between two oceans, where the rhythms of life and death merge in a symphony that never fades. Here, where canopy layers upon canopy and humidity clings to every breath, all living things play the music of the rain. A call rises, not loud, but sharp enough to slice a sliver of light through the curtain of dusk. It is the voice of the harpy eagle, sovereign of the forest canopy. Harpija, its scientific name, once soared over most of Central and South America. Now it shelters mainly in the last unbroken corridors of primary forest. The harpy eagle, a warrior of the air, its eyes as direct as blades, and its talons over 4 inches long. Forward-facing eyes granted stereoscopic vision, while a bony ridge above the socket acts as a sun shield, sharpening its sight in the forest's dappled glare. Those talons can close with enough force to crush the spine of an adult monkey. The grip of its feet rivals that of a large dog, sufficient to secure its prey in a single heartbeat. The plumes on its head rise into a crown, a silent, proud signal to any challenger. This crest also breaks up the bird's silhouette, a simple stratagem of camouflage among the patterns of leaf and shadow. With a relatively short but immensely agile wingspan, low wing loading allows it to change direction in a space no wider than a tree trunk. the highest branches, it waits with patience, as still as a shadow held captive by time. Harpy pairs often mate for life, returning to the same immense nest for years. A single sound out of rhythm in the orchestra of leaves is enough to trigger the dive. Amid the forest's downpour of sound, its ears and eyes filter for anomalous movements, a compass needle pointing to one trembling leaf. The attack is explosive, as swift as lightning, tearing across a green sky. The stoop is sealed with 2 feet thrust forward, the ankles strong as springs, absorbing the impact as the talons lock. The window of opportunity is narrow, the attack range short, so its entire strategy hinges on absolute surprise. After each hunt, it does not rush to feed. Because a harpy pair typically raises only a single chick over many seasons, each prize is destined for the nest, a patient investment. Bringing the prize to the nest, a ritual of continuance, is essential to raising the next generation. Surplus prey is sometimes cached at the nest, a larder against the stormy days that close the sky. The female portions the meal, and every morsel is a step closer to the day of first flight. Calcium from bone, iron from blood, nutrition is forged into talons, beak, and muscle. A hunter's smithy is firing up. A tropical shower descends. The rainy season here can last for months. Deluges arrive like curtains, retreat and return, weaving the work schedule of the entire forest. An adult's feathers are oiled and tightly layered, but the chick must rely on its mother's shelter to conserve heat. An adult's feathers are oiled and tightly layered, but the chick must rely on its mother's shelter to conserve heat. This is one of life's first tests, teaching the young to endure the unyielding rhythms of nature. It learns by watching and mimicking. Every stretch of the neck, every watchful pause becomes a lesson without words. Under this care, it grows stronger, and the sky slowly opens its doors. Even after fledging, the juvenile lingers for months, begging for food and practicing its hunting flights within a safe radius. The menu favors the slow-moving residents of the trees. Two-toed sloths, howler monkeys, capuchins, all key pieces of the canopy world. As an apex predator, it ensures the scales of the rainforest food web do not tip too far. Yet this icon is now under threat. Its green cathedral, those vast, unbroken tracts of forest, is being fragmented and diminished day by day. As the harpy's shadow recedes from the canopy, the dominion of the forest shifts to the ground, where another hunter emerges like a whisper from the night. It is the jaguar, the most powerful carnivore in the Americas. Panthera onca, the jaguar, is a body of compressed muscle with a low center of gravity, built for the explosive ambush and the crushing bite, not for the long chase. Each footfall is as light as the wind, yet carries the force of a primal warrior. Soft paw pads absorb all sound, while a reflective layer behind the retina allows it to see by the moonlight that filters through the leaves. A group of capybaras, seemingly safe near the river's edge, is entirely unaware that it is being watched. The capybara is a master of the waterways. Its eyes and ears get high on its head like periscopes, but every sense has its blind spots. The jaguar conceals itself in the undergrowth. Its muscles tense beneath a thick, patterned coat. A broad body, short, powerful legs, this is a design for close quarters grappling in water and mud. And then it launches like an arrow. Not a roar, not a sound of warning. It trusts silence more than a roar, the tactic of an ambush hunter in a confined world where a single lunge is all that is needed. One has been separated from the group. This is a fatal mistake. A formidable jaw with the most powerful bite of any big cat clamps down on the prey's skull. The capybara's life ends in silence, just as it began. As an apex predator, the jaguar's presence prevents its prey species from growing beyond the land's capacity. This top-down pressure keeps the vegetation from being overgrazed, ensuring the riverbanks remain shaded and the currents offer refuge for young fish. It is the queen of the shadows and the silent guardian, of the Panamanian forest. As night falls, a sound, almost imperceptible, glides through the air. It is the beat of a bat's wings. In Panama, the night belongs to them. The multi-layered canopy of the Central American rainforest, its rivers, streams, and caves, provides flight corridors and a near year-round supply of fruit for bat colonies. This land is home to over 120 species of bat, accounting for nearly 1/10 of all bat species on the planet. A tiny creature, yet it holds an immense responsibility. They are not hunting prey. Instead, they are nocturnal voyagers seeking feasts of ripened fruit. With an extraordinary ability to navigate, they glide through the dense foliage with absolute precision. Their ultrasonic pulses, often ranging from tens to over 100 kilohertz, are fine enough to distinguish a ripe fruit within a web of leaves and branches. But the true marvel is not what they eat, but what happens next. On every flight, they carry out a vital mission. They scatter the seeds of life through the darkness. Every seed dropped is a promise of a future forest. A seed that has passed through a bat's digestive system often germinates more successfully, its coat thinned and deposited with a small parcel of nutrient-rich fertilizer. These are the silent farmers of the night. Without tools, they restore barren lands, heal the forest scars, and pave the way for new life. The sound of their wings is not noise, but the very pulse of the ecosystem. It is remarkable that the forest's greatest works are performed in a symphony of sound almost beyond the reach of human ears. Quiet, persistent, and essential. When a seed falls from the night sky, it is no accident. It is the culmination of millions of years of evolution. A great pact between the plant and the bat. The trees offer an invitation to sweet, vividly colored fruit, and in return, the bats carry their seeds to new territories beyond the shadow of the parent tree where the light can reach them. Covering tens of miles each night, they are more effective sowers than any bird or mammal. In forests ravaged by fire or by human hands, bats are among the first to return. They need only darkness and ripe fruit to begin their work of regeneration. From the seeds they carry, life quietly rises from the ashes. This, they are known as the architects of the night. No other creature can regenerate the forest so invisibly and so effectively. But their role does not stop there. Many bat species are also formidable insect hunters. Each night, they consume thousands of mosquitoes, helping to control disease and maintain the food web's delicate structure. They are an invisible army, protecting the health of the entire forest. Yet these vital creatures are often misunderstood. Human fear has pushed them to the edge of peril. When a forest loses its bats, it also loses its ability to heal itself. Insect populations explode, trees cannot reproduce, and the forest's growth comes to a halt. Of the night then becomes alarm. If we want to save our forests, we must first save the bats, by protecting their natural habitats and by giving them back the quiet darkness that is rightfully theirs. And when humanity takes just half a step back, the forest often closes its own wounds far faster than any plan we could devise. For every regrown forest, every sprout that rises from a seed is a reminder. Nature will always find a way to restore itself if we only give it the chance. The bat's night ends with the whisper of leaves, and on the silvered water, the great blue heron begins its day with the stillness of a master hunter. In the calm waters of Panama's mangrove forests, a tall figure moves in silence. The prop roots of the red mangrove and the breathing tubes of the black mangrove filter salt and anchor silt, transforming this place into a nursery for juvenile fish and crabs. This is the great blue heron, a proud hunter of the still water world. Ardea Herodias hunts with a stand-and-wait strategy, conserving every muscle contraction for a single, explosive moment. It stands over 4 feet tall, with a wingspan of nearly 7 feet. Its S-shaped neck conceals a spring-loaded mechanism of bone and sinew. In one release, the beak becomes a spear, piercing the water's surface. Its slate blue and silver plumage gives it the look of a warrior. Special powdered-down feathers on its chest help clean off fish oil and slime. The middle toe has a fine comb for preening each feather into place. Each step glides through the mud without sending a single ripple across the water. Its eyes are like lasers, locked onto movement below. And when its prey appears, its sharp bill strikes with absolute precision, giving its quarry no chance. A nictitating membrane closes across its eye like a swimming goggle, protecting the cornea the instant the beak hits the water. During the breeding season, hundreds of great blue herons gather, building their nests in the mangrove trees, creating a city of birds. Pale blue eggs, 2 to 4 of them, and the whole rookery is as noisy as a fish market. Each nest a story told in dry twigs and stray seaweed. As dusk falls, they fly to the highest branches, to safety and the gentle sea breeze. They fly with their necks retracted. Unlike cranes, which fly straight to reduce drag, the salt wind dries their feathers, repels mosquitoes, and warms their legs through counter-current heat exchange. Beside it stands the jabiru, a bird of stark white plumage and long, black legs. Do not be deceived by its elegant appearance. The jabiru, too, is a skilled predator. It watches the subtle ripples on the water's surface, waiting for the precise moment to extend its neck and snatch an unwary fish. The jabiru's bill contains highly sensitive receptors, allowing it to feel tiny vibrations in murky water and strike with accuracy, even when its vision is impaired. They often wait beside the herons, ready to intercept any prey that has just been flushed out. A loose but effective alliance when the tidal window is open for only a few minutes. Under the first rays of dawn, these two birds together adorn the mangrove landscape. Each wing that brushes the water is a brushstroke, sketching the quiet patience of a wading bird. When the tide rises, the tangled roots of the mangroves become a sanctuary for countless aquatic creatures. The mangrove forest is a haven of regeneration and protection, where the cycle of life never ceases. As the sun sets, the herons and jaguars take flight once more, returning to their roosts, their silhouettes tracing peaceful shapes on the tranquil water. Tomorrow, the story of the hunt and the dance of shadows on the water will begin again. Where the labyrinth of mangrove roots provides a safe harbor for small fish, the stage of the open ocean unfolds, welcoming the masters of social hunting, the bottlenose dolphins. To survive in the ocean world, half of their brain rests, while the other half remains awake to breathe and to watch for danger. It is uni-hemispheric sleep, one eye closed, one eye open, allowing them to rest while maintaining the rhythm of surfacing for air. Meanwhile, a dolphin mother gently approaches her calf. The young one travels in the slipstream behind its mother, using her hydrodynamics to save energy in its own young muscles. The calf must learn to follow its mother, nursing on her fat, rich milk to grow quickly. They will nurse for many months, sometimes years. The energy-dense milk builds the insulating layer of blubber and the muscles needed for a life of hunting. A mother teaches her calf not only how to hunt or echolocate, but also how to connect. Sound is their language. Sequences of clicks are focused through the melon on their forehead like a lens, while signature whistles, their names, keep the pod bonded. The young learn by observing their mothers caressing one another, leading the pod and sensing danger. Sometimes aunts in the pod act as babysitters, a form of communal parenting that helps the mother restore her energy and gives the calf more opportunities to learn. This is not just instinct, but social intelligence passed down through generations. Some populations even retain a local hunting culture, specialized techniques from herding fish to avoiding traps, transmitted through years of practice. In their first hunts, the young dolphins are still clumsy. When the pod cooperates, some herd the fish, others block the escape, and some lunge for the kill rolls assigned in a ballet written upon the water. But the pod remains patient, teaching them. The underwater world, however, is not only a place of affection. Noise pollution from ships and sonar can mask their calls and cloud their echolocation, shrinking the margins of safety. Microscopic plastics and drifting ghost nets are formless traps that can entangle a fin or deceive a hungry stomach. Yet, dolphins still choose a life of resilience. It is this adaptability that has made them one of the most powerful emblems of survival. A large brain, a long childhood, and a durable social memory give them the capacity to learn, to play, and, it seems at times, to feel empathy. One day, these young dolphins will mature, lead a new pod, and carry with them the memories of a time they were loved and protected under a Panamanian sunset. In the warm waters off Panama, life is not only beautiful, it is sacred. Where two oceans meet, currents and nutrients converge, nurturing the lives that come and go with the seasons. Vibrant coral reefs and lush seagrass meadows are home to more than a quarter of all marine life. Corals and their symbiotic algae exchange sugars and minerals like a slow breath, while seagrass quietly sequesters blue carbon in its roots and sediment, an ocean's memory bank. In this world, sea turtles appear like silent deities. Of the 7 species of sea turtle that roam the planet, 5 visit the waters of Panama. The green, hawksbill, leatherback, loggerhead, and olive ridley, each playing a unique role in the ecological mosaic. The green sea turtle, with its olive-colored shell, glides gently, an ancient soul. As adults, they feed primarily on seagrass. Their grazing helps the meadows to regrow, healthier than before. And the hawksbill, a protector of the reefs, feeds on sponges, creating space for corals to thrive. In fact, the leatherback is a specialist hunter of jellyfish, keeping their blooms from overwhelming fish populations. They journey thousands of miles to return to the very same beach where they were born, continuing a life cycle written into their genetic memory. Their compass is the Earth's magnetic field, an invisible map imprinted in their youth, guiding them through the deep ocean currents. As night falls, immense dark shapes haul themselves ashore onto the white sand. Warm sand beneath, cool stars above, and in the sand, the temperature will determine the sex of the next generation. They dig into the sand, creating deep, safe nests for their eggs, the seeds of the future. Each nest may contain 80 to 1,020 eggs, buried nearly 1.5 feet deep in a single season. A female may lay several clutches a few nights apart. Her task complete, the mother turtle returns to the sea, leaving behind a promise: "My work here is done." Will likely not return to nest for another 2 to 3 years, trading the energy of a long journey for a few quiet nights to continue her lineage. Weeks later, on another night, a new chapter begins. The sand cools after sunset, a signal for the hatchlings to emerge all at once, like a flurry of foam. Dozens of tiny turtles begin their first journey, heading towards the ocean, guided by the reflection of the moon. They navigate by the bright horizon and the direction of the waves. Artificial lights can rewrite that map in an instant. The odds of surviving to adulthood can be as low as 1 in 1,000, a harsh calculus that the sea has always accepted. Birds, crabs, and other threats lie in wait. Only a small fraction will make it, but every single survivor is a victory for life. The turtle's strategy is one of many eggs, long life, a wager on numbers at the start in exchange for enduring longevity later on. Sea turtles are more than just creatures. They are a link between the past, and the future, connecting distant oceans with small islands. In the indigenous cultures of Panama, the sea turtle is revered as the spirit of the ocean. They appear in legends as guardians of time, carrying the memories of the ocean through the generations. today's reality is not so tranquil. Warmer sands are causing a dramatic increase in the proportion of female turtles, while rising sea levels are eroding their nesting beaches. Discarded fishing gear, ghost nets, boat strikes, and drifting hooks, these are the invisible perils on a traveler's path. Many hatchlings become disoriented, heading towards cities instead of the sea. Dark sky friendly. Beaches with shielded, amber-colored lights turned off during hatching season are a small commitment that can save many small lives. Yet, amidst these dangers, hope remains. Signs of recovery sometimes appear in the sand itself. More tracks leading to the sea, fewer wandering aimlessly beneath a brightly lit pier. In many coastal communities, people have learned to coexist with the turtles. They relocate nests threatened by the tide, erect protective barriers, clean up debris, and record nest and egg counts by the dim glow of red light. The red light is less disturbing to hatchlings and does not lure them towards the cities. Volunteers take turns standing guard at night, protecting the nests, cleaning the beaches, and turning off lights during the nesting season. Dunes are restored with native grasses, and elevated wooden walkways prevent sand compaction. Because every turtle that survives today might return in 20 years, bringing with it the complete circle of life. They reach maturity slowly, sometimes after 2 decades or more, and then they return, guided by magnetic memory to the very same stretch of coast. The journey of the sea turtle is a path of perseverance, of a heartbeat that transcends time, and of a wondrous connection between nature and humanity. As dawn breaks, the beach holds only small tracks in the sand, the fragile rickets of a great and silent migration. Nature has just witnessed a miracle. Life has been renewed. The hatchlings, now part of the vast ocean, will grow with the waves, learning to evade predators and to store their first memories. If just one of them survives, it will carry the entire biological legacy passed down through millions of years of evolution. And one day, after decades at sea, it will return to this very beach. No map, no guide, only the quiet call of the ocean and the ancient instinct that tells it this is where life begins. The circle of life closes, only to open a new one. Perhaps turtles cannot speak, but they have taught humanity a great deal. One need not be fast, only determined. One need not possess, only return. And the most sacred thing of